I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll put the link in the description below if you want to read all of this, like bug fixes, quest changes, local co-op fixes, gameplay fixes, bug fixes for dungeon events and other activities. There's a ton of stuff in here for console players, quests, dungeons bugging out if you interact with them differently. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can read all that. Bunch of UI improvement, which is awesome. I just want to read the good stuff, okay? The great stuff. Here we go. Gameplay adjustments for experience rewards. Significantly increased experience awarded for completing Nightmare Dungeons. Dudes, it's time to grind Nightmare Dungeons. Significantly increased experience gained from killing monsters in Nightmare Dungeons. Goodbye, normal dungeons. Helltide chests now provide substantially more bonus experience when opened. That's really good for us Helltide grinders. Significantly increased rewarded experience from completing individual whispers across the board. Good for you if you guys do that. Fix an issue where no experience was awarded for completing the holdout style event that can occur after finishing dungeon objectives. So that's good. So now it's general stuff. The Helltide roaming bosses will now more consistently drop higher quality loot. That is amazing. Kill those roaming bosses. Players can now teleport to their Nightmare Dungeons directly through the map. That is so huge. Thank you, Blizzard, for allowing us to do that. No more riding your horse and getting stuck on random crap in the environment. Weekly bonus caches from world bosses no longer have a level requirement for opening. Thank God. I have like 5 of these sitting in my stash right now, and when I'm home from work, not on lunch break, I'm going to be opening every single one of those. Here's the developer's note. We are currently working on increasing the monsters and elite density of endgame content and plan to introduce this change early in Season 1. Thank God. More elites, more mob density, and Nightmare Dungeons just gives us another reason to farm late game, because late game shouldn't be grinding dungeons to 100. We should be farming Nightmare Dungeons. So I'm really excited and happy for all these changes for Nightmare Dungeons. Balance changes. Developers note. This is pretty much for Barb, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, and Sorcerer. It's basically buffs. It's basically buffs all across the board. And we're going to go over skills right now. So Lunging Strike for the Barbarian. Base damage increased from 30 to 33%. Fury generated increased from 9 to 10. Huge. Bash, more damage, more Fury generated. Frenzy, base damage increased from 20 to 22%. Flay, bleeding base damage increased from 36 to 40%. Fury increase, enhanced Flay's vulnerable chance increased from 10 to 15%. Really cool that they're, improving a lot of these basic and core skills to make them actually useful. Because, there's a lot of crap like Double Swing that no Barb ever uses, right? Base damage increased from 36 to 40%. Kick, cooldown reduced from 17 to 13. I haven't even seen a Barb use kick. Base damage dealt to enemies knocked back into the terrain increased from 54% to 70%. Dude, the meta's going to shift for sure from all these changes. Iron Skin, Call of the Ancients, increased damage. Everything's been increased, boys. So all these Barb aspects are increased, more damage. I don't see any nerfs here. Let's look over Druid now. Base damage increased from 16% to 70%, 1%. That's fine. Spirit generated increased. That's a must. We want more spirit for our Druid boys. Fierce Earth Spike Fortify increased from 4 to 8%. Wind Shear base damage increased. Spirit generated. Claw base damage increased from 20 to 22%. So I could just read all this to you, but basically every single skill across the board is increased for Druid as well. And cooldown decrease and cooldown reductions looks like everything's decreased. I don't see any nerfs here for any class so far. The Druid's looking nice. Let's check out the Necromancer. Base damage increased from 12 to 13% for Reap. Yes, cooldown. So more damage and cooldown between corpses reduced from 5 to 4 seconds. More damage, cooldown, essence generated increase. So more essence generated increase for almost every skill. It looks like every skill actually. More damage increased, and the cooldowns are reduced as well. Bone Prison, cooldown reduced from 20 to 18 seconds. Dreadful Bone Prison's Fortify increased from 5 to 8%. All right, so the Necromancer's getting buffs across the board. Let's check out the Rogue. There's a lot of rogues out there. Let's see. Invigorating Strike, base damage increased from 23 to 25%. Blade Shift, base damage increased from 15 to 16%. So basically, guys, again, like before, every single skill is getting an increased damage percentage. Cooldown reduced from 15 to 13 per second for Smoke Grenade. Every single cooldown skill you have is getting reduced. And yeah, so the Rogue is stronger than before. Sorcerer, base damage increased from 8 to 10% for Spark. Enhanced Spark damages increased from 5.6 to 7%. Same with Sorcerer. Boys, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Look up your class. I could sit here for 17 minutes and read everything, but just know that every class got a damage boost. Every class got a cooldown reduction decrease, which is awesome. There's some aspects changes as well. I have to sneeze really bad. 1 second. Excuse me. So Blizzard, amazing. Amazing. No, to be serious, thank you, Blizzard. It looks like they are listening to our feedback. All in all, I think these patch notes are going to be positive. Every single character is buffed. It should make for smoother gameplay. At least we can farm Nightmare Dungeons now. There's a reason. No more farming normal dungeons, and we can teleport to Nightmare Dungeons as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.